Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Thursday, July 20th. This is the live show that I do every morning at 10:30 Eastern Time. Once again, I am wearing my Furies outfit from the Warriors because I played a little superstitious game where a while ago I said I was going to wear this outfit every single day until I had a losing day. And yesterday, once again, another winning day. That makes 7 in a row. 7 winning days in a row for anyone who's counting. Yesterday was 3-1. Of course, one of the picks was the Dodgers' second half, which got rained out. So, and a second half has to finish for it to count. So that one was a push, even though the Dodgers were up 4-0 and was looking like they were going to cash that one easily. That one has to be a push. So I was 3-1 yesterday. And the one loser was the Arizona team total over. A lot of people thought that Arizona was a good play there, including myself. That line moved about 20 cents, and we saw that that Cincinnati got it. And Cleveland is another team that's just got me scratching my head. Anyone who watched yesterday's show, the pitching matchup was Matt Cain against Carrasco. And when I saw the matchup before the lines came out, I was all ready to pounce on Cleveland. But then when the line came out at Cleveland minus 200, it was just too high of a line. Look what happened. They wound up losing. Unbelievable. Cleveland, now a team in some serious disarray. Just a team that I don't want to be back in any way, shape, or form as a big favorite at all, at home or on the road. Later on today, I'm going to be doing my series preview with Drew Martin that I do every Thursday, taking a look at the upcoming weekend series, and the Cleveland series coming up at home is definitely going to be one that I'm going to discuss with Drew Martin, because Cleveland is just a wow. I mean, they are just like they've lost 5 out of their last 6 games since the All-Star break. 2 of them they were a favorite of minus 220, and 2 of the other losses they were a favorite of minus 140. So this is not the friggin' San Diego Padres here, where they're losing game in and game out at plus 160, plus 180. When you're a major league team and you're losing repeatedly as a big favorite, that is quite an eye-popping result. Anyone who's been fading Cleveland, congratulations. I actually have not been fading Cleveland, although I've been smart enough to not be on them. I was actually on that one game that they did win. So, okay, Lou Skunt says, I hope your Tinder game isn't suffering during this streak. No, it's actually not. I do have some things that I could report on that front, but I'm not going to. Let's get to the slate of games. The bad news for today is that it's a tough slate of games. Thursday is always a little bit of a tricky situation because, of course, there's all the early games with getaway day situations where there can be lineup surprises. So I'm very careful about I don't make too many bets on the opening lines or the overnight lines until I've seen the lineups. And I have seen the lineups for some of them, although I still don't know who's going to be in the Arizona. Who's going to be in Arizona's lineup. Don't have information for Toronto. Do have information for the St. Louis and Mets games and Milwaukee-Pittsburgh. For St. Louis, it's looking like only Molina and Giorgio are out for St. Louis, and most of the big guys are in for the Mets. And I'm not seeing any big news on the Milwaukee-Pittsburgh front. The Milwaukee-Pittsburgh series is an interesting one. That series has been going under every game, which I did predict. I had 2 of the under. 2 of my winners this week were on the unders in the Milwaukee Pitts series, and the other game was a game that I also like the under on. I didn't give as a pick, but I did like it. It was the game that Garris started, and today, the under is tempting again with Nelson against Tyon, but the weather's a little bit iffy. So, at just 8, I did actually bet it small at the opener of 8.5. Now, though, I believe it's down to 8 market wide. Yeah, it's down to 8 market wide. So I'm not going to be giving that one. I'm not going to give the under on that one at all. And I might actually pull my my bet on the 8.5 and might hedge out and hope it lands on 8 and get a, because I'm just not really liking the under today. Although also the first 5 innings under is tempting it at 4 plus money. But the only pick that I was really thinking about pretty hard was the first 5 innings over in Toronto and Boston. It's Liriano against Fister. Liriano had a neck issue in his last start, and he has been looking very vulnerable and shaky over the past month or 2. And Fister, since he came back, has also been kind of shaky. I was hoping to get 5. That was not available anywhere. And I was thinking, all right, what'll I do if it's 5.5? Wasn't sure. It's actually 6 market wide. I'm seeing the first 5 innings over 6. So I don't know if I'm going to give that one. And other than that, there's nothing else on the card that I'm really liking. It's a very tricky game with Texas and Baltimore. Obviously, it's Wade Miley Day. and Wade Miley has been struggling in a major way, but Texas, their lineup in general has been really struggling. I'm looking to fade them in their next upcoming series. Today, I just don't have any faith in them to take them against even a guy like Wade Miley. Texas scored 4 runs in the first 3 games in this series, and that's at Baltimore. So that is some bad production right there. On the other side, Cole Hamels, of course, has been great in his last few starts. Will probably be good here again, although Cole Hamels is a guy who I do expect to regress in a pretty significant way this year at some point. This is a tough situation, tough assignment against Baltimore, so Hamels could get hit, so I don't really want to take the under. I don't want to take the over. I don't want to take Texas. I don't want to take Baltimore, so I think I'm going to have to pass on that one. Other interesting games are Madison Bumgarner returning for making his next start for San Francisco. His first start back looked pretty good. He did give up some home runs, but he was getting strikeouts and in general looked pretty healthy. But San Francisco is like Cleveland Indians light. There's no way in hell, even with Bumgarner on the mound, that I would want to take them at minus 200. So it's a tough situation today. The Yankees and Seattle game is interesting. Severino against Hernandez, but the Yankees have not. Their lineup has not really been productive in the second half so far. And Seattle, of course, a bunch of wins over Houston in their last series. So I'm not sure I'd want the Yankees here as a road favorite either. The Dodgers game, obviously very interesting. Fultonevich against McCarthy. Atlanta stalled out offensively in their last series at home against the Cubs. So I'm expecting the Dodgers to dominate this series. Of course, though, you're going to get a huge favorite line every game with the Dodgers. Although the Dodgers have, I don't know how many games they've won in a row, but I think it's at least 10. But how many? Do you know, Matty?
Really?
Guys?
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I didn't know they ripped off that many wins in a row at this point.
They're like 30 something and something. They're like 34 and 6 or something ridiculous. The Dodgers is winning game in and game MFing out. It's McCarthy against Fultonevich, though. McCarthy is not bad, but his strikeouts are down a little bit. And Fultonevich, of course, a guy that I've talked about in many baseball shows this year, a guy that I was kind of high on, looking for him to come into his own, and that has certainly happened. So I'm not sure if I'd want the Dodgers here at minus 200. I could, play it cheaply safe for Thursday and just take the Dodgers as one pick and hope that I get away with it. Also, the Arizona-Cincinnati game is interesting. I'm seeing that Taijuan Walker is not starting. Now it's Corbin against Castillo for Cincinnati. And Cincinnati and Castillo is a guy with some pretty big upside. I mean, he has some control issues, but he gets a lot of strikeouts and a lot of ground balls. And in general, Castillo has a lot of upside. So I was thinking maybe about Arizona on the second half, maybe, although Cincinnati's weirdly been a great second half team this year, and Arizona has not. And Arizona has been slumping, of course. They've lost 8 out of their last 10. They were slumping before the All-Star break, and it's continued. And there's just something up with the team. Did you see what happened? They got JD Martinez first game back. He gets banged up.
Yeah, it was good. I read about it, but yeah.
And tonight, this afternoon, Cosart is out for Cincinnati, but they have a bunch of other bats that are pretty good. So, maybe Arizona on the second half is tempting. Arizona on the second half is tempting because Castillo doesn't go deep. He will definitely be out by the 7th inning. And Corbin is probably going to get knocked around a bit. So that's my take on today's card. The games that I'm thinking of, the bets I'm thinking about, maybe Arizona second half, maybe Toronto, Boston first half over. I don't know, maybe a shot with Detroit on the first half. I cashed with Detroit on the first half with Boyd starting recently and Fulmer against Duffy. Duffy's had Duffy's coming off a good start, but Fulmer has been very reliable and consistent. So he's a guy I don't mind bagging at all. And KC's lineup has stalled out a bit, so that's a little bit tempting. And that's it on the card. There's nothing else really. Then of course there's a 12 o'clock. Sorry.
So no, I was saying that it's a short one.
Yeah, 9 games, and they're all very, very tricky. You have the Giants with Bumgarner, but a huge favorite. You have the Dodgers, very tempting to take every game right now, but as a huge favorite. The St. Louis Mets series, I nailed each of the first 3 games. I had St. Louis as an official pick in the first 2 games, and then I switched it up with the Mets with my biggest play yesterday, and that one cashed relatively easily. Today, it's Lynn against Lugo. Both Lynn has been great recently, but this will be a little bit of a tougher assignment. Lugo has also been very serviceable. You could make an argument for the over on that one, but it's 9.5, so I'm not going to take that one. And I guess I would have a very slight lean towards St. Louis as a road underdog there, despite Yorko and Molina being out. But I definitely don't want that one. So it is a tough card. I guess what I might do is I could pass, but that's really cheap. So if I'm gonna do anything, I'll either just take the Dodgers on the money line and hope and pray, or I'll take Toronto-Boston first 5 innings over and hope that I at least get to 6. Although that's another tough one because Boston's offense has been very lethargic and mediocre. They have not been super productive in their last bunch of games. Boston offense is just not really hitting. Toronto might have the edge in that game in general. I might look at that, but it's just man. I could take the first half over, and then I could also maybe take. God, I don't know. There's just nothing I'm sorry. Yesterday I had like 18 plays and everyone was talking about how many picks and leans and everything I had. And today there's just nothing that I'm really liking.
Man, you can't force it. I want to see the jersey on you every day. I got a pick. I got a low hanging fruit today.
You do? You do?
Yeah.
What's that?
O.J. Simpson to get paroled, minus 300.
Really?
Yeah. Even though, which I found very interesting, there was a report the other day that they're trying to deny his parole because they caught him doing a little hand to gland action. I don't know how to say that exactly. Cranking one out.
Really?
But Jimmy the Bag was on the show last night with Jeff and Donnie. He had a good point. He's like, they should be encouraged guys to do that in prison because what else are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
If it doesn't go there, it's got to go somewhere.
God, I'll tell you, there's nothing that fucks my head up more than watching those prison documentaries, which I do. It's like anytime I watch those prison documentaries, I do that sometimes as a break for like 15 minutes while I'm handicapping, and then my brain is all scrambling. I don't know how people survive like 1 minute in the clink. So what is it? It's minus 300 that he will get paroled.
I believe it's plus 200 that he will not.
Wow.
Even with his jerking off issues.
Well, what are the factors involved? I mean, I'm assuming he's been a relatively model prisoner, right?
Yes, aside from his, whatever. But, as far as I know, it's pretty much a done deal. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Why they wouldn't? Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe because there might be some sort of like public optics factor that, some political factor that's involved in there. Like,
I think that would probably help him, honestly.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because
I think if I was in California or anybody, I don't want to even have to talk about him. I don't want anybody to have to hear anything about him. So if we just get him out of the system today, this won't happen again in 2 years. You know what I mean? Where it becomes a big deal and a big story.
Mm-hmm. But then if he's out of a system, then he can start talking and everything. I don't know. That is a tough one. Obviously, someone thinks they know something if they think that he's minus 300. Lou Skunt has an opinion that OJ won't get parole. Well, if Lou Skunt is right, then he can cash on a pretty nice underdog there.
Lou has some insider information.
Mally Mal says OJ out. Mally Mal says OJ will be paroled. Yeah, that's interesting. I actually have not looked into that at all, but I would be interested to look into. I mean, obviously there are factors for parole, and then there's also obviously the big political issue. Is there some sort of pressure where someone has told someone in the system what to do? Either said let that guy out, or don't let that guy out. So
well, this was no, I guess that's not true. This was not a non-violent crime. This is when he robbed his own stuff back, right? I think that was a bit of a physical altercation.
Yeah. All right. So maybe that is. Let me see. I did also make a bet on the CFL game tonight, and I took the under in the game tonight. I took it at the opener of 54. Now it's down to 53, and I guess I would still like it a little bit at 53. I did have Montreal last night, but I got them at the opener of +5, and that one wound up being a push. I also had a shot with the under on that one, but so I cashed on that one. And I'm on the under in the CFL game tonight, although, again, I got 54, and I got and last thing I saw was 53, and I have no play on the side. But I do have a pick on the CFL game tonight. All right, let me go to some let's get to some comments. Maybe someone from the comments section here can convince me one way or the other on any of the leans I have. A lot of people agreeing that it's a bad card. Juan White, who usually jokes around and does not make too many serious comments. Juan White says this card sucks. Seriously. So, when Juan White's starting to be serious.
That ticks both of the boxes.
What?
That ticks both of them. It's funny and true.
Yeah, it is funny and true, but just to...
Juan called into the show last night, too. That was
Did he?
Cool, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's see. Let me look at some of these comments here and see if anyone can comment on anything that might.
It looks a lot of questions, and nobody seems to be. It's not a big day for me.
Mally Mal saying tech difficulties in NYC, but I'm assuming that that's just him, or else we would get other comments.
Yeah.
Yes. Hako Schofield says, Pete, you've been on fire. Yes. I guess I'll take this opinion, this time
Yes,
while
there you go.
I deliberate and waffle here on my picks or lack of conviction on anything. To thank everyone, to thank all the regular viewers, all the positive commenters, even all of the haters like Blue-Eyed White Devil from yesterday. That was
Dragon.
Blue-Eyed
White Devil.
White Dragon. Blue-Eyed White Dragon from yesterday who had a nice comment. Of course, the lead hater, the big Simon of haters in this show, Joey Martino. Thanks to Joey Martino. So yeah, thanks to everyone. There were some nice comments on the show yesterday. I really, really appreciate that. You know, some days life ain't easy in 2017. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. And I really want to say that personally, it boosts my mood and is part of my overall, depression management to take my medications and also to remind myself of the positive comments that I get every day from the fans of this show. All right, so let's see. Hako Schofield, yeah, said, how about that Colorado over? I did bet that one. I should have given that one as a pick, but it's okay because yesterday was a winning day anyway. The streak is still alive. I just don't know what I'm going to do about today's card. Let's see. Conrado Mendoza says, Pete, I got fucked on Arizona hard as fuck. Yeah. Other people saying that Mally Mal says Arizona hurt my bankroll. Yeah, that's why you got to use money management. I was on Arizona as well. I lost on that one 3 ways. Of course, when I bet plays that are correlated, I reduced the bet size. So yesterday I had Arizona -1 and the over and the Arizona team total over. Now all of those lost, but because they're all highly correlated, my bet size on all 3 of those plays were much smaller than if I had just made one play on the entire game. But yes, so
this is a nice little tidbit of information.
What's that?
Sal Ippolito says it's raining right now in Hamilton. So just for the game tonight, that does affect things.
Yes, I'm on the under on that one, and I bet it, normal size, got 54, now it's 53, and I'm taking the under on that one. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Blake Kersey, that was rough. I don't watch soccer, but I saw that game, and that late goal was so brutal. I played soccer for 20 years, and I turned to my friend. I was like, I'm so happy I never did that once.
Okay. Yeah.
But, yeah, that was a good game, though, overall.
Okay. Ernest Huffman asking about Detroit today. I would have a slight lean to Detroit. Obviously, Detroit's bats have really picked it up.
I wish, Jensen.
And KC's bats have stalled out. And, I don't particularly want to fade Duffy, but betting on Fulmer is a very attractive thing. Fulmer, very, very reliable. Probably going to have another good start today. And actually, I don't know, maybe the KC team total under might be worth a shot at under 4 plus 100. Robinson Jeffa says Arizona just needs time for them to be in that zone chemistry. Yeah. And that's also another series, their upcoming series, which is at home. I forgot who it's against, but Arizona they're going back home, and this might be I think it's against Washington though. Yeah, so I'm going to be discussing Arizona's upcoming series at home against Washington, I believe it is. Look, there's great bats in the lineup. If Martinez is healthy, he obviously is a big plus for that lineup, and with Pollock back, that's a big plus, and Goldschmidt and everyone. So at some point, Arizona probably is going to be a good bet game in and game out, and they are still officially the #1 team in baseball at home in terms of ROI, despite their recent struggles. It's just kind of weird that their struggles have been going on for so long now. It's not just in the second half. It's not just a couple series. They ended the first half struggling as well, and they actually were, I think, the second worst team so far in baseball in terms of ROI in July. So, Ernest Huffman says Boston over. Yeah, Ernest Huffman, that's definitely a lean that I've got. It's just that Boston's lineup is just stalling out and not really getting it done. Let's see. Other comments here. Mr. Grogster says Indians need a win streak to get them back. Yeah, you can say that again. I don't know how many games in a row they'd have to win at home to suddenly become.
How many games are left in the season?
I don't know. But they are, you don't think of Cleveland as a terrible team, but I was looking at the ROI numbers, and their ROI at home is like -28%, and the second worst team, which is like Philadelphia or maybe San Francisco or someone like that, is like -19%. So they're like a full 9 percentage points of ROI worse than the second worst team in baseball at home. So they are just way overvalued. Mike keeps saying can't load the show. That sucks. All right, let's see.
No, he got it now.
Oh, he got it. Okay. Conrado Mendoza saying taking a shot with Milwaukee. Yeah, they're getting a small underdog line there. So, Nelson obviously excellent. Tyon on the other side is also excellent. Pittsburgh is very good, and they've been that way for many years, actually. just very good at winning like low-scoring, close games at home.
Them in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I love watching those two teams play.
You see a lot of Pittsburgh wins at home that go under where Pittsburgh wins by one. Pittsburgh is one team that I actually, when they're at home, I don't take them on the -1 line. I usually often just take them as a home favorite. So I mean, as a small home favorite. So yeah, a play on Milwaukee would not be the worst thing in the world. Maybe Milwaukee +1. That's an interesting pick there. But I don't want to go against Jamison Tyone. I mean, that would be forcing the play. There's probably small value with Milwaukee +1. But again, I just don't want to force anything. All right, let's get back to some other comments and see if anyone can put me on any play here today. Yeah, a lot of people talking about positive thinking. Yes, positive.
Seems like the soccer is where you go today.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could.
I think Jamaica and Canada are playing today.
No, but this streak is like MLB picks only, and I'm wearing the Furies outfit. So, yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't compromise your streak by betting on soccer.
Yeah, for sure.
What people are talking about.
Sal Ippolito made a good comment. Low total for the Giants game at 7. Yes, I actually did take a small shot with the over on that one at 7. Bumgarner obviously good, and Tessin has also been very good, but it is a very low total. That could possibly be a play. I would possibly lean that way. Let me look for other. Then we have a lot of comments on OJ parole hearing. Sal Ippolito says Dodgers win streak is 11, which is and more than that, their last 40 games is like 35-5 or something like that. Something ridiculous. Let's see. Hako Schofield saying it's a tough day. Mally Mal, tough day indeed. Everyone agreeing it's a tough friggin' day. Yes. Mike Heap says Pirates under again. Yeah, I would lean that way, but I did bet it small at the opener of 8.5. Now it's down to 8. Again, something telling me that just to stay off it today. Again, there's a lot of plays where I feel like I am seeing an extremely teeny edge, and that would be one of them. Milwaukee on the under, and if the Milwaukee Pittsburgh under is a good play again, then probably Milwaukee +1 also has some value. All right, let's see some other comments here. Let's Chris Bravo saying, I'm against Dodgers today. 11-0, a loss coming. I think competitors want to break that streak. Well, they certainly do. I think that all their opponents over the last 40 games have wanted to get a win every time out. It's just not the easiest thing to do when you got that lineup and that bullpen. D says Mets is the play. Yeah, what's
Blake's filling in for Lang Joe, I think, today.
Okay, all right, okay. Let's see some other. Chris Bravo saying Fister sucks. Yes, that is accurate. So you could make an argument for just the Toronto team total over. Let's see what that would be. The Toronto team total over would be 5. That's another very borderline-ish play. And I also don't have the Toronto team, the Toronto lineup right now. So. Milo Georgiev says, Pete, what do you think about San Diego today? Good underdog? I'm staying off that game. If you gave me a free play on it, I probably would take it. But I don't want to bet against Madison Bumgarner. But I think even stronger, I don't want to take the Giants, no matter who's starting, as that big of a favorite. So I am.
Biggest disappointment of the season, right? It has to be.
With the Giants? Oh, yeah, for sure.
Surprise, I guess.
I would say Cleveland probably an even bigger disappointment, but
I guess from where they ended up last season comparatively.
Yeah,
perhaps. But they had some injury stuff. That's not totally just by shit luck.
Tomarino Tomor is back. Nice to see his opinions. Tomarino Tomor says, I like over in St. Louis Mets. Lynn sucks on the road.
What? Sorry.
Lynn sucks on the road. Lugo is struggling, and both teams saw these pitchers 2 weeks ago, except that you're taking a 9.5. I'm not disagreeing with you, Tomarino Tomor. I'm just not saying that that's a pick that I want to give as a pick to put my streak on the line. And then Milo Georgiev comes right in with Mets Cardinals under play of the day. I kind of vaguely agree and vaguely disagree with both of those. I'm not touching the total in the Mets Cardinals game today. Big Will 1337 Dodgers all day. Sure. And then Nate Dogg 420 asking what's a good parlay for tonight's games. Nate Dogg 420. We don't even have one good play, let alone 3 or 4.
Nate Dogg, sorry.
What?
If you want your any parlay for today, go check out Jimmy the Bag on YouTube. He puts one out every day, probably within the next 2 hours or so.
All right, it'll be interesting to see what Jimmy the Bag comes up with because
he is down $900 over the last 24 hours.
Okay.
However, We've all been there, right? So
Yeah. Maybe he'll just coin flip it for this.
that's what I like about him. He's super honest like that. Every day he updates us on his picks and his money's won or lost. So that's the only reason I know that.
Nice. Jensen Bonzone says Texas is the play, Peter. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe. Texas has been really stalled out, and I'm definitely going to be looking to bet against Texas in their upcoming series. Today, it's just they just can't hit anyone. Hamels has been good, but I'm just not a super buyer on him going forward. If Hamels was starting for a team that had a lineup that would support him, with a good bullpen that would support him, then sure, I would take it. But the Hamels as the only factor for going on Texas is definitely not enough. So let's see. Let me just think. Yeah, Juan White saying, Pete, start fading Mercury in WNBA. Cash easy with Indiana +7. I was on the wrong side of that one. I was on Phoenix in that game. Thought they were going to get it all done, and they definitely did not. And you might be right there, Juan White, that Phoenix might be considerably overvalued.
Brittany Griner's out for the month.
I'm sorry?
Brittany Griner's out for a month.
Is she?
That's like he said. Guan said Griner. I assume that's who he's talking about.
Okay, yeah, if that is, I didn't actually catch that. I will look at it. I was under the impression that she was.
Yes, Ernest. That's how I write the pick too.
I did not have a chance to look at the WNBA games today. I was doing a lot of other research last night.
David Rassman, who are you? Do you want to come to IFBC next month? You're my favorite commenter today.
Lou Skunt with a pretty good comment. Lou Skunt says BMOC sniffs little boys' bicycle seats. I don't know if you caught that one, but
I chose to gloss over that, but thanks for bringing it up.
I hope I articulated that again in case you missed it. Once again, BMOC sniffs little boys' bicycle seats. That is a comment from Lou Skunt, commenter Lou Skunt. Thank you very much for that one, Lou Skunt. Boy, this is a different show today, right? I'm just
I like these days.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Oh God, Jesus Christ. Tomarino says, I like Severino, but I think he's in a letdown spot after a great start against Sale. Yes, and also Tomor, the Yankees have been okay, but no great shakes, and Seattle has been productive. And Felix Hernandez, if the Yankees were a dog, I would take him. But as a road favorite, I'm not sure I want him. All right, let me think. Okay. Nate Dogg 420 putting in some picks here. KC +1. Okay, I can see that. I can see that kind of. Dodgers -1.5. All right, I can kind of see that one. Seattle +1. San Diego +1. +1.5. Sorry. Yeah, I can see all those. The San Diego pick is not too bad, actually. San Diego +1 or +1.5. Not that bad. Again, there's a bunch of plays that I would be okay going with, but nothing that really jumps out at me. Okay, yes, Brittany Griner is out with a knee issue. Okay, all right.
What's up, Donnie?
Ace Farmer says Tigers. Peter, Tigers Fulmer way undervalued. Elite numbers, yes, for sure. I just don't totally love the Tigers going into KC, and I think KC's produced a little bit recently, so I don't totally love the idea of fading them. But again, yeah, I think Fulmer's great. And I would not at all be against making a pick on Detroit on the first 5. Tomor says, Pete, 9.5 is a big number, but Lugo doesn't pitch deep and Mets bullpen sucks. I do think there's some value on over. You might be right there, Tomor. Sure. It is a big number, though. Could easily see this one landing on 9. Now, Young Jeezy asking Tomorino, what's your favorite pick of the day since I don't have one? Yeah. Sal Ippolito says, holy shit, it's pouring rain. I just might take a tie in the CFL. Yep, I'm on the under tonight.
Too, by the way, guys.
I'm sorry?
That's in Hamilton. He's in Hamilton right now.
Yes, and I am on the under in that one, and I would endorse a play on the under, even at the current line of 53, I believe. Lou Skunt says, Pete, what other videos do you have coming up? Well, maybe we can discuss that before I decide to make a pick. I'm going to definitely be doing a video with, well, first of all, there's the Q&A that we do every Thursday at 12:30, which is open format. Then I'm also going to be doing a weekend series preview with Drew Martin this afternoon. And today, there's nothing that I'm liking on the card, but looking at the upcoming series matchups, there's a lot of series that I'm definitely liking, some for totals and some for sides. So I'm definitely seeing some. I should have some good picks tomorrow on the Friday card. I'll have to check the pitching matchups, but there's definitely some series in this upcoming weekend matchups that I'm liking today. I'm also going to be doing my Big 12 college football video, which I feel like I have a pretty good read on the college conferences. Once I get done, I do a lot of research with all of my with all of my college football conference previews. So I highly recommend you guys checking that out.
You did one yesterday, right?
What?
You did the college preview yesterday?
No, I'm doing Big 12 today. I did Pac-12 last week, and then early next week I should have 3 of them, including the Big 10, which is the next one I'm going to tackle. But today I'm going to be doing the Big 12. A lot of interesting stuff in the Big 12. Baylor, of course, rebooting, and Texas. I'm kind of high on Texas to at least start out the year, and Texas might have a much stronger defense, so I'm thinking about unders there. A lot of interesting stuff in the Big 12, and teams like Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State might just be a dead over team, and might be fading West Virginia. West Virginia might be overvalued. A lot of interesting stuff in the Big 12 that I'm personally seeing, that I'm thinking about for the opening weeks, and all that will be contained in my Big 12 preview video that I'll be doing later on today. All right, okay. I gotta make a decision here.
All right, I'll let you think a second. I'll do my little promos.
All right, go ahead.
So guys, don't forget. Let's see what do we got going on. Sorry, July Bet Points contest. First of all, we got a lot of people coming in for this MLB thing. Even if you're not in it, it's kind of fun to follow along, and then you can hop in for our August Bet Points contest at SBR Contests. Let's see what else. Also, we got another edition of the Point Blank with David Malinsky coming out today. I can't stress enough, guys, that this is probably the most informative and best written sports betting article that you'll see on a daily basis.
That's just because I don't write an article on a daily basis.
Well, go for it, man.
If I did, it would be the second best. No, I'm kidding. I love that.
I don't know. I've never seen you write.
I feel like just because I happen to also be handy with a joke here and there, that people underestimate my actual sports betting acumen on the. I
don't think people underestimate.
You don't think so?
No.
I think when people see it, like, people think that like people who are like really like boring and nerdy are like or like the smart ones who know everything. You know, guys like me don't know shit. But
doesn't matter. You know, I wouldn't listen to somebody like that because they're boring.
Right. Yes, I hear you. All right, and just to wrap up the day, Tomarino Tomor, I think we can. This sums up the day. Tomarino Tomor, despite all of his opinions here and there, kicking opinions back and forth, finally gives the opinion: I don't love anything today. Tough card. Yes, I agree with you on that one.
That's pretty much the gist. That's why I should change the name of this video to.
If even Tomarino Tomor is conceding that it's a tough card today. All right. So and then and after that comment, Mally Mal says, "Someone give me 2 locks." Mally Mal, I don't think I could give you two picks that I even like a decent amount. All right. So,
OJ parlay with the Mets, with the Yankees tonight.
Jesus Christ! All right, I gotta give something. I really don't want to give a.
No, I'm not gonna allow you to force yourself to do this. If you got a WNBA bet, I would give that.
I didn't have time to look at the WNBA games today. All right, here's the pick that I will give. All right, I'm thinking about Arizona on the second half. Thinking about Milwaukee +1. Thinking about Detroit on the first 5 innings. Thinking about Toronto, Boston, first 5 innings over. Oh man, that is just tempting. I just wish I could friggin' get 5 on that one instead of 6. All right, what'll I take here? What will I take here? Cincinnati does have some bats in that lineup, so I don't really want to take them on the second half. All right, let me just think about this for a second. You know what I'll do? I will take. You
got to think about today like a stubborn turd. You can't force it out, man. You know that you blow an O-ring or something.
All right, you know what I'll do? Maybe I'll just take Milwaukee on the second half. Let me just quickly check what that. Oh man, maybe that's a sign my the tab just closed.
Yeah, Calvin, we don't have any picks today. That's why we're just kind of bullshitting.
Yeah. Someone's noticing, huh? All right, God, because I don't want to break my streak. It's just the streak is so cool.
I would hate to see you have to take that jersey off for a pick that you're forcing out.
Yeah, exactly. When in sports betting, you want if it's like Bartolo Colon Day, and I make a pick on Bartolo Colon Day and it loses, I'll happily eat the losses. I'll give the bookie my money. I'll take the jersey off and everything. I don't want to do that with.
And Calvin, Pete recaps all the picks at the very end of the show. So.
Yeah. And today, so there will be just one pick. God, what do I want to do? I could take Milwaukee +1. I don't want to fade Jameson Taillon though. And Pittsburgh.
I tell Donnie. He's usually got some good stuff.
All right, what does Donnie recommend?
Donnie like the Mets, I think. He likes to bet against road teams on the getaway.
Yes, for sure. Yes.
Let me just go back a little bit.
Except that I know Lynn sucks on the road, but he's been very good recently, and I just kind of like that lineup. I just don't. All right.
Yeah, I think he likes the Mets. I thought I saw he liked the Yankees as well. So we're a little New York concrete jungle looking today.
All right. Let me think what I want to do here. Let me just think for a second. What do I want to do here? Oh, wow, God, it really is a fucking tough card. Holy shit.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, that was the right call. You can't expect that freaky ass own goal to happen at what is it, 79-minute mark.
So. Jesus, this is a fucking tough card, man. All right,
Mets are home today, home tomorrow. St. Louis peeling out of town tonight, says Donnie. All right. I mean, he's.
Okay, I will. You know what I'll do? I'll just take. God, no, I don't want that either. All right,
they don't care, man. They want you to take the day off. They want you. To, nobody wants a forced out pick.
Yeah, it just is nothing I like. It just is nothing I like. I can't decide what I want to go with. All right, you know what I'll go with? I'll go with Detroit first 5 innings. Detroit on the first 5 innings.
I'm not even writing that down.
Yeah, Detroit on the first 5 innings. I mean, Duffy is good, but Fulmer is obviously very reliable.
Oh shit, Guan.
What did he say?
He's listening to his future baby mama Cynthia.
No, very nice, very nice. All right, okay. I'll take Detroit first 5 innings, money line -115. Duffy had a good start in his last one, but hopefully that won't carry over here too much, and hopefully
again, Josh, it probably should have. I was expecting it to. I was hoping for it. I was out and I wanted to watch some more soccer.
Hopefully Fulmer will be okay. Let me just quickly look at this one. Just let me quickly check it. All right, that's what I'll make my pick. Detroit first 5 innings -115. Hopefully Fulmer will give me 5 shutout innings and everything will be okay. And we won't have much of a problem. All right, there you go. Whoa, Cynthia Peters saying, don't do it, Pete.
Don't do it.
Josh Miller saying, good call, Pete. Nate Dogg saying, Donnie Wrightside saying, I like it, Pete. Detroit rolls on left-handed pitching. Yes, except that just, Duffy has always been a guy who's been a little bit undervalued, gets good results, blah, blah, blah. But, okay, all right, okay. I will just make that one the pick. I'll make that one the friggin' pick. Detroit, first 5 innings, -115. I don't love it, but you're backing Fulmer, and Fulmer has been just very reliable. And Casey's bats have been pretty stalled out recently, so hopefully that will catch. That's it. I did it. Okay, all right. Loose Cunt says I backed Fulmer too. Juan White says that's a safe bet at least. Yeah.
Costa Rica's defense not that bad.
I'm sorry. What?
Sorry, I thought you were. I would just talk about soccer games last night too.
All right, and maybe. Yeah, Tomorino also endorsing it. Duffy pitched great last game, but Rangers can't hit worth a shit on the road. I like Detroit here, but don't want that bullpen. Yes, there you go. So there you go.
Sal wants to know if you live bet.
If I live bet? No, I have. I did used to do that. I tried it out a little bit with baseball, and it's definitely interesting, and it's definitely an interesting endeavor. The one key, of course, with live betting is that if you're betting the same game multiple times, they're all very highly correlated, so you have to be aware of that. I think live betting is very interesting. It's just not something that I do right now, but I have done it in the past, and I think it's great. I think it's interesting.
It's really fun. I like to do it for tennis. It's scary, but it's a lot of fun.
All right, that's it. That is the show for today. Thanks everyone for bearing with us. Hopefully you had a nice time watching the show, and I'm putting my streak 7 winning days in a row on Fulmer. Got to get a nice start from Fulmer. Hopefully KC doesn't surprise today. All right, that's it. We'll be back for tomorrow for the Friday card.